Alrighty, let's do this. I died? Oh, that's right, that asshole fucking warrior killed me. Camping out for fucking Broken Tooth. I think this is gonna be really hard this time around getting him. I'll check the different layers again, but there's only fucking 3 of them now. Unfortunately. Come on, game. Anytime you want to fucking load. That's right, I don't have a pet. Oh no. What layer am I on? There is no NPC to touch. Oh. What the hell? Oh, there's 5 layers now? What? What the fuck? There's so many Alliance players. How many layers are there all of a sudden? 6? Layer 1? Oh shit, you're on layer 1.
Botrix has correctly joined the channel.
Oh, is he gonna go get the node? You little fuck. Oh, I need to get off this fucking layer. Dude, what? What the fuck? Fuck you.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Ugh. No way.
I can't cast that yet.
Dude.
That spell isn't ready yet. It's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging.
No, what? Dude.
I'm out of range. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. It's still recharging.
Dude, what in the actual fuck?
That spell isn't ready yet. It's still recharging.
Stop being a fucking faggot, bro. I'm not gonna wait here all night, so.
I need to target something first.
Hey everybody, baking.
Pedal drop guaranteed, dude. That's what I'm saying, Solime. If we get that shit, that is absolutely money, because then we could continue to farm Ultimate for a second one. I feel like that'd be so much gold if we got that, but I think the way this farm works is it's very, very, very addicting. And if I saw that, I think I would just lock in and continue to farm even harder. You know what I'm saying? I would just start farming even harder and more aggressively for more items and more gold. That what was that? That was like a rare spawn alert I heard pop up. What if is Broken Tooth up right now? Is the boy? Oh, Broken Tooth is literally up. That's I mean that's is that are the Warcraft gods upon me? They said, here, Arrow, you bow lord with the hunter, take the Broken Tooth. Here's your new pet. And I said, thank you. I wasn't even looking for him. I didn't even want him. But if you're going to give him to me, I guess I'll fucking take him. Let's go. Woo! That's how you get Broken Tooth, chat. You just let the Warcraft gods bless you with him. Absolutely exceptional.
Yeah, that guy's so annoying.
Where would you like to fly to?
It is too far away.
Hello everybody, welcome to our channel. Today we will catch together, if we are lucky, Broken Tooth in Badlands. But first of all, I will show you some trick for hunters, easy way, how you can get more faster. Spawn timer 6 hours, 7 hour, 8 hour, we don't know. But we start with the right place to search. You can run all around, but you can spend the time.
Strength.
So take the place where I am now on the map. Go top of this hill. And you have 2 skill to use. Find more easily. Open your skill book. And there you can find Eagle Eye. So put on the bar. It's very important. When you have Eagle Eye, spawn place are here, here, or behind me. So as you see, Broken Tooth last seen is here, for example. But can be spawned here or there. So here I can find more easily and control this all 3 place. How I will do, I will use my Eagle Eye to search first place. So normally must be here around, if it's here. No, not there. Okay. So I turn back. Second checkpoint must be here. Maybe I'm far, I cannot see well. I go look again. Not here. Okay, it's not easy to find. Maybe we'll spend couple days or couple hours, we don't know. And the third place are here. Also not there. So this way it's more easy to search, because other way you have to run all around the Badlands. But my tactic, I think it's good one, so you can use it. And you can check all the points. Oh, if you want, you can get level up here, kill the mobs, skinning, anything you want. But if you are lazy like me, you can do as I say. And if there's any problem, you can be hiding. Nobody will notice that you are here. But don't forget, if you use Eagle Eye, your height is broken. So, one more time I'm showing. I put my Eagle Eye skill on the bar. First place, just front of me, far near the castle, where the iron draft stay. I go there. Search. Look, this hunter is also here searching for... Somebody is also here, but it's okay, no problem. Okay, I go back. He cannot see me, but I can see him from far. I go this corner, nothing. And the last place behind me, there. I go check there. Nothing. Nothing, nothing. So where I am, I show on the look, I'm here, standing top of the hill. Okay, this is the way. I think everybody understand. It will be one more hunter here. Everybody searching the way I look.
And the way you look.
That spell isn't ready yet. It's too far away. I can't cast that yet. It's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I need a target. I don't have a target. I can't attack that. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. That spell isn't ready yet.
Fucking losers. Fuck, man. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now the left is currently imploding. Why? Because they know their plan to take over the government has failed. So today, what I want to do is go through their failed plan step by step to really understand just why they're all freaking out so much. Because like I just said a moment ago, right now we're all witnessing what is perhaps the most monumental progressive meltdown in our country's history. But hey, without further delay, let's just jump right into things. Now, as I'm sure you've all seen, this is the current state of the left.
We will not take this! We will fight back! And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and goddamn it, shut down the Senate! We are at war!
You hear that? As far as the left is concerned, they are currently at war with the Trump administration. So yeah, like I said, right now the left is currently having a ballistic meltdown. And here's the deal, I'll tell you guys why. For the last 9 years, they have done every single thing they could have done to try to stop Trump from getting back in the White House. And really, what that ultimately means is that they have tried everything they could to stop our voices from being heard. Because let's be honest, in a weird way, it's actually less about stopping Trump and more about stopping Americans like us from retaking America. Because that is what really scares them. That is why they're currently freaking out. In fact, you know what? Let's all do a little bit of a recap. First, it was the Russia collusion hoax. Then it was an impeachment. Then it was another impeachment. Then it was Joe Biden's miraculous win in the 2021 election. Then it was the insurrectionist narrative. Then it was the FBI raid at Trump's house at Mar-a-Lago. Then it was 34 completely bogus felony charges. Then Trump survived not one, but two very mysterious assassination attempts. So listen, when I say that Trump has made it back into the White House, literally against all odds, that's what I mean. And now I do want to say real quick, guys, if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing because it actually does help a ton. But okay, guys, so all of those things, we have all conquered every single challenge that has been put in front of the MAGA movement, and now finally, we are back in the White House. Which means that the work to fix the country is finally getting back underway. And guess what? The first big step in that process is to clean out our incredibly wasteful federal budget, which is exactly what the Department of Government Efficiency is doing right at this very moment. And as I'm sure many of you all know, what's come out is that the Democrats have been using corrupt organizations like USAID to siphon off massive portions of the federal budget for their own progressive purposes. In fact, let's take a look at Trump's new press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, really break it all down.
These are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
And now, by the way, guys, you and I both know that not all of that money made its way to whatever third world progressive task it was meant to accomplish. No, in fact, most of it didn't. What we now know is that most of this money was getting shuffled around through various shell companies, ultimately ending up in the pockets of corrupt progressive politicians. So pretty much, USAID was just a slush fund for the Democrats. Go figure. They've been robbing this country blind, and only now that Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency are auditing the federal budget are we learning about it.
I don't have a target.
In fact, take a look at what President Trump posted earlier this morning. USAID is driving the radical left crazy, and there is nothing they can do about it because the way in which the money has been spent, so much of it fraudulently, is totally unexplainable. The corruption is at levels rarely seen before. Close it down. And you know what? President Trump is 100% right. But guess what? The left's attempt to take over the country doesn't end there. Because I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with any of Trump's ongoing legal cases, but hey, here's a little spoiler. He's winning all of them. Take a look at this. ABC News recently agreed to pay Trump $15 million because George Slopadopoulos lied about him on national TV regarding his case with the psycho E. Jean Carroll. Mark Zuckerberg's Meta just agreed to pay Trump $25 million for wrongfully suspending his Facebook account after January 6th, violating their own terms of service. And as we speak, Paramount is in multi-million-dollar settlement talks with Trump's team because they selectively edited Kamala Harris's 60-minute interview in an effort to swing the 2024 presidential election. So hey, once again, guys, back to my point earlier, the left has tried everything to stop this guy. The left tried to use every single dirty tactic in the book, and they still failed. And guess why? Because we all decided that it's time to put America first. We've all watched as the radical left has weaponized our justice system, siphoned off billions of taxpayer dollars, all while running our country into the ground. And then they expect us to be upset that Elon Musk has 22-year-old unvetted super geniuses working for him. Yeah, guess what, members of the left? We don't care. What we care about is fixing the country, and that is exactly what is happening right now. Every single day that goes by, the stranglehold that the progressives had on the country gets a little bit weak. Because, hey, this was pretty much their plan. Use their elected office to siphon off money out of the government using programs like USAID towards various progressive humanitarian causes, which really just means black box shell corporations. Then, use that money to spread progressive propaganda throughout the country and silence anyone that disagrees with them. Sound familiar? Yeah, this is exactly how the country has operated for the last 4 years. And hey, honestly, it's a pretty good plan, although completely immoral. They probably thought that they'd get away with it forever, which explains why they're all so mad right now. And you can tell they just have no idea what to do as all of their corruption is being brought to light. Just earlier today, I saw a bunch of unhinged progressives calling Trump a fascist. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, how many fascists sought to shrink the size of the government and disempower the government? Because that's exactly what Trump is doing right now. And so once again, now that their plans are coming crashing down around them, what do? Well, they take to the streets and declare war on the federal government. Like, literally, that's actually what they're doing. These people have the emotional maturity of toddlers, and it would actually be kind of funny if the fate of the nation wasn't hanging in the balance. So really, it's just more concerning and pathetic. What's crazy to consider is that for the longest time, it was the Democrats that would scream about wasteful government spending. But now that the Republicans are the ones actually doing something about it, it's time for war. In fact, let's all be honest here for a moment. The only war that this Democratic House representative is ever having is a war with how much she can eat at an all-you-can-eat buffet. And of course, this almost goes without saying, but can you guys imagine if there were groups of Republican lawmakers gathering on the streets declaring war on the federal government? We would all never hear the end of it, but that's just because the progressive left is the pure textbook definition of hypocrisy. As you all know, the first rule of progressivism is rules for thee, but not for me, because if they ever get held to the standards that they themselves set, they would come crashing down. But guess what? The jig is up, the Patriots are back in control, and the left's attempt to take over the country has failed. And between you and me, I think that's a good thing. But hey, I think that's all I've got for you guys today with this one, so please go down below and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Please like the video if you liked the video. Please consider subscribing. It really does help a lot. Thank you all very much for watching, and of course, as always, stay safe. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump's new press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, just held her first official White House press conference, and I think it's fair to say she just got done absolutely cooking the liberal media. So with today's video, what I want to do is go through all of her debut highlights and really break stuff down with you guys. So without further delay, let's get right into it. Take a look at how she immediately took control of the room and set the standard for how these press briefings are going to operate.
And I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who...
If you're having a tough time getting a bigger chest and having a tough time feeling your chest activating and getting really, really good workouts from pressing, we have 14 tips for you today. They're gonna square you away. You ready to grow your chest? Let's go. The first tip for maximizing chest activation and pressing exercises is to consider warming up with a few sets of dumbbell flies. Super lightweight, 5, 10, maybe 15 pounds, couple sets of 5 or 6 reps, nice and slow, get that deep stretch. What that's gonna let you do is get in touch with moving your chest. Get that mind muscle connection going. It's gonna pump it up a little bit, warm it up. It's an activation situation that's really gonna allow you, if you have trouble connecting with your chest, to be one step ahead. So then right after you do a few sets of that, you're really much more connected with a chest situation. Then when you get into your presses, you have a greater chance of really getting to your chest, really activating it, really stimulating some awesome muscle growth. Tip number 2 for getting the most out of presses for your chest is to consider doing some flies. Now I know that sounds insane, and it is. That's it, that's the tip, JK. What you want to do is, if the activation drilling works, awesome, that's all you need, then it's into heavy pressing. But sometimes people really have a situation where their chest is kind of like smoking a cig all the time and doesn't really want to get involved, and the shoulders and triceps end up just taking over all the presses. That can happen, but especially if you start with fly warm-ups, but then actually do 3, 4, or even 5 working sets of 10 to 15 reps in heavy flies, be it cable, be it dumbbell, be it machine, doesn't matter. Then you start your presses. When your chest is really pre-exhausted, it tends to be the limiting factor on presses, especially if you use dumbbell presses as that first pressing exercise, because in a conventional machine press or even barbell press, if your chest is kind of too tired, your shoulders and triceps can take over. And since it's a closed kinetic chain, it can actually, technically it's open chain, but you can't pull your arms apart or put them back together. That means the shoulders and triceps have to take over. However, if you do some flies first and then dumbbell work, if your chest isn't pushing, there's no amount of tricep activity that's gonna save you, because if your triceps try to take over but your chest can't push past this point, what happens when you activate them more? The dumbbells go out this way. What happens if you get your chest to here but no more? Nothing. So your chest has to have a certain baseline of activity. If it's already pre-exhausted, your shoulders and triceps are really strong. When you switch to dumbbell presses after multiple sets of hard flies, your chest is a limiting factor from rep 1 all the way through the reps. You can't help but get massive chest activation. So that's a good tip for you to try if you really, really, really need to get to your chest. Tip number 3 is to retract your shoulders. What this does is it takes the front delts out of the movement a little bit. It also makes sure that as you're pulling your scapulae back, your chest is rising up. And that really allows you to connect with that mind muscle. And the best part is it pre-stretches your chest. We know that tension under stretch is better for hypertrophy. And as you pre-stretch your pecs, you connect instantly with a muscle when you feel where it is. Think about when you're stiff-legged deadlifting or doing good mornings. If you tilt your hips and pre-stretch the hamstrings, you really can feel them. And then it's not confusing how to do the movement. But if your hips are just loose, you have to go down really far and maybe hit the hamstrings. So that retraction, taking both shoulder blades and walking them under yourself, will already prop your chest up and get a really good stretch going for you, which really helps with activation and maximizing the stimulus. The 4th tip is to arch your back. Now you don't have to do crazy cat back antics, but when you do a shoulder retraction, it really helps to also take your tummy and your chest and push them up, and take your hips and walk them back towards your shoulder blades. You get that little bit of an arch, and all of a sudden it helps make you feel really tight, really solid, really secure and stable, and pushes your chest up, stretches it even more to get maximum chest activation, to be just much more likely than if you lay completely flat, and then might not feel great on your shoulders, and your triceps and shoulders can take over a ton more. The next tip is to make sure that you have your chest nice and upright at the very bottom of the movement, and not allow yourself to cave in. When some folks come down with the bench press bar or the dumbbells or the machine, they cave in towards themselves. You want to keep your chest nice and upright, which actually takes us to the next tip, which is a more advanced tip. If you're really having trouble, because a lot of people, once you say just keep your chest up at the bottom, they're good to go. But if you're really, really caving, you want to cue even more than this. So this next cue is, as you come down, especially once the bar clears or the implement clears the halfway point, you want to actively arch your back and reach your chest up towards the bar. So 95% of the bar displacement or of the movement occurs because the bar is going down, the last 5% is actually your chest reaching up to gently touch the bar. That cue to reach the bar really reinforces a high chest, keeps everything in that optimized, stretched position, which is going to be awesome for your games. The next tip is about increasing the time of your eccentric phase. It's totally fine as long as you're under control to do 1 second or half a second. But a lot of folks who have trouble activating their chest can slowly lower the bar, really focusing on keeping the chest up and the shoulders back. And you can ultra focus on feeling everything through the chest if you have the time. 2 to 3 seconds on the eccentric can really, really help you get in that groove, versus if you do it really quick, is it like, am I activating my chest a lot? Am I using the proper mechanics? I don't know, it's all happening so fast. By slowing it down, it makes it more painful, which is good, but also then you can direct that pain into your chest, which makes it really what we want. The next tip is a bit advanced, and you have to be very careful with it, using only moderate loads and very slow lowering velocities. And you have to pause on the chest for this tip to be extra effective and safe. And that tip is to let your elbows flare up and out as you go down to end up getting the implement, dumbbells, barbell, whatever, up to touching or around your upper chest instead of your lower chest. This can work on inclines. It can work very well on flat presses. By opening up your elbows and letting them track up and out, what you can allow is more of a stretch to that pectoralis muscle. The thing is, it's a gnarly stretch and is a little bit dangerous if you go crazy fast with super heavy weights. So stick to weights that are north of your 10 rep max, or that movement, which means pretty light. Go nice and slow on the way down, gentle pause, but as you go down, at first you're aiming for your nipple line, but as you go down, you start to angle it backwards by opening up your elbows and pulling the bar back to your face. It ends up hitting somewhere in your mid or upper chest. Nice pause, and then come back up. My God, that's called the guillotine press. If you're not feeling your chest and you're pressing low, sometimes shoulders and triceps take over and the chest doesn't really stretch much. The guillotine press will stretch the dog shit out of your chest. Literally, dog poop will come out of your chest. But if not, you'll at least get more jacked, which is pretty nice. The stretch is exceptionally and especially muscle growth promoting, especially if you have lots of tension on there and that tension is extended in how much time it's applied for, which means the next tip is a 2-for-1 tip. Yes, you can go slow all the way, but this tip isn't go slow all the way. It's you can start normal, but as you get closer to the chest, slow down extra. That's tip number 1 for this little grouping. Tip number 2 is when you're slowing down and you get to the bottom, spend 1 or 2 seconds in the hole at that deepest part of the stretch and then come up. So not only do you want to slow down towards the bottom, have to maximize the amount of time you have exposed to that long muscle length tension, but also if you pause at the bottom at crazy maximum tension, you get another second or 2 of tension application in the most growth promoting part of the movement. Give that some thought. With a barbell, this next tip is impossible, as you'll soon see. But with dumbbells and with many machines, it's actually a really awesome idea. Come down at the normal pace, whatever it is that you do, and when you get to the deepest part, if it's a barbell, the barbell just stops on your chest. But if it's dumbbells or a machine that splits open, what you can do is, as you get to the bottom, don't just hold in the same static position for 1 or 2 seconds. Take 2 or 3 seconds to let that weight push you in even more. So your bottom position at the end of the eccentric is going to be a certain distance. Your bottom position when the concentric restarts can be 1 or even 2 inches deeper. And we all know we can all use a little 1 or 2 inches of depth, which is why I want to introduce you to my next unbelievable, I want to call it a device, but the FCC won't let me label that. It's called the Dildonator. Now let me explain.
What?
The next tip I actually stole, literally, from IFBB Pro Jared Feather, who's the world's master of cueing all kinds of muscles and definitely chest. And here's the tip. As you descend, you could get really good at keeping that chest up and out. But for a lot of folks, as they ascend, do the concentric phase, they tend to collapse their clavicles up and in, kind of pushing with everything. And that takes their chest out of the optimal pressing position, that pre-stretched position, and tends to increase activation of triceps and front delts and kind of leaves the chest behind. It also poses an interesting situation for having to get your clavicles back after that. So as you press up, if you extra need special chest activation and it's really a bad deal for you, what you want to do is as you press back up, still reach at the very top up with your chest, which means you're not going to get that ASMR feeling throwing the weight lockout where your shoulders come forward. You're keeping your shoulders back the entire time. So the cue is chest up even at the top. That's going to allow you to feel pec tension all the way through the movement. And if you really have trouble with pec tension, that's a really awesome thing to be able to do. That's the first tip of this grouping. The second one is this. Even in barbells, definitely in machines, and for sure in dumbbells, what you can do is if you start losing your arch and retraction, to regain it by taking a quick pause during the middle of your set to arch and retract again. I usually recommend that folks do this when they're locked out, so the lockout allows them to brace against whatever implement they're using to push their stuff down. So rep number 5 or 6, you're feeling yourself slipping, your back isn't as tight anymore, your chest isn't as up, finish the rep, crawl your way back into position over a few seconds, and then crank out more reps. The last tip is if you really need some extra growth juice to come out of your chest, then what you might want to try is lengthened partials, especially after a full work set has been completed and you have a spotter or you're using dumbbells and machines. No, you're not strong enough anymore. You're too close to failure to get all the way up and all the way back down. But you might be able to do the bottom half or even the bottom third, controlling the weight still, not bouncing around, full control all the way up and down. That bottom half is the most growth promoting part of lift anyway. And if you have some extra energy at the end of a set, maybe even if you really struggle with chest growth at the end of most or all of your sets, put in lengthened partials. And if you're doing RIR, reps in reserve, if it's 2 reps in reserve that week, stop at 2 RIR on the full reps and get to 2 lengthened partial RIR on that lengthened partial superset, and you're good to go. This has a high probability of really messing you up the best way possible, so I wouldn't just turn all of the work sets into also supersets for lengthened partial. Try with 1 at the end of each major exercise, see how it feels. All right, folks, that was 14 and maybe even more in there with some combos. Total tips to get way more chest activation and more chest growth. If you're struggling with chest gains, I wouldn't just incorporate all of these at the same time. Your chest could blow up off your body. It's unlikely, but possible. What I would do is take 2 or 3 of the ones that really resonate with you, or play with a few of them and really pick 2 or 3, really put them into a whole mesocycle of training using the RP hypertrophy app. I don't know where that came from. And then you might find like, holy crap, that made a huge difference. Then you have more goodies in the goodie bag to pick out later if your chest growth stalls again. Use these tips, and folks, in the comments, let us know if you want us to talk about other muscles. Maybe you have trouble activating your biceps, trouble reaching your lats, your quads, your hamstrings, whatever muscles they are. I can absolutely make another video or few videos really teaching you how to target them with some activation and technique tips to really reach into that muscle and touch it in that special place. My favorite muscle is called orbicularis ani. Look it up, not in a public library. I'll catch you guys next time.
Alright, so
Hey all, here we are on Nightslayer Anniversary, and here we are on White Mane Classic Era, where I've played for many years and continue to play. The population right now of Classic Era is around 3,300 level 60s rating, which is a decent amount still. That's across both factions. Similar for EU, similar numbers. And then when we go over here to Nightslayer, it's about 20,000, 19,000 total, with close to, you know, like 9,000-ish per faction. What we're going to be doing is comparing prices on these two servers. Whitemane is from 2019, and it's been through a lot. It's been in the Nax phase for like 3 years or more now, and what has happened to Whitemane is currently happening to Fresh. There is an army of bots. They are fly hacking. They are just, you know, ravaging the land. They are picking it dry. You go out there and you look for a flower, and yes, you can find flowers, but you also find a lot of bots. You know, you get to a flower and oh, there's a bot already grabbing it. So let's look at the auction house. Like I said, we're going to be comparing the prices. Now, there is a value of the gold in IRL currency, right? And so on G2G.com, I don't buy gold, but I looked it up and it was 45 cents for 1 gold here on Nightslayer and 4.5 cents for 1 gold on Classic Era. You could almost quit your day job if you were good enough at farming gold on Nightslayer. If you had a whole botting operation, you could be making hundreds of gold per hour, and that's a scary thought. I really think it ruins the integrity of the game, but I do understand why people buy gold. And it's almost like the bots are forcing people to buy gold, right? Because the difference between Nightslayer and Classic Era is there's GDKP on Classic Era, and most of my rating on Classic Era has been soft reserve, but I also, you know, I've done a ton of rating in GDKP. I have more gold than I could possibly need. I have 1 million gold on Classic Era, and multiple years worth of consumes saved up. And I don't buy gold, but I never had any issue being able to afford consumes on Classic Era. On here, it's difficult. Some of the consumes and stuff is affordable, it's okay, but then some are just so out of proportions. Anyways, well, let's get into it. We're gonna look at some basic stuff first. Let's just look at
now that's how
Plague
you get a
Bloom
trophy or two over
and
the
like
old
Mountain
heart.
Silver Sage,
Nice
Dreamfoil.
killing
So
adventurer.
that Dreamfoil, okay, and then Mountain Silver Sage, okay, and Groms. These are your main flowers. Remember all those amounts. We're gonna go over here and let's see what we got here. So because the value of gold on Whitemane in IRL currency is like 10% of Nightslayer, you would then think, or at least I think, that the price we should see is 10 times as much if they're in balance. I don't know how to spell sometimes. Bear with me. So here we're at less than 5 gold.
Farewell.
So it's not 10 times as expensive. It's still expensive, but not 10 times as expensive. Dream.
Greetings.
Really cannot type on this keyboard.
Need help?
5 gold-ish, little,
Safe
you know.
travels.
It's Mountain Silver Sage. So, you know, if this, we would expect this to be 10 gold. Groms, it is expensive, 12 gold a piece. And the reason is that the demand for Grom's blood is very high. For example, let's say you're going to do an axe and it's clean, or any raid for that matter, and you use like 2 mongooses. So that's going to require you to use, let's just say, you know, 4 Plague Boon, 4 Mountain Silver. But 3 Grom's Blood for your Mighty Rage Potion. If you're going to use 15 Mighty Rage Potions in a raid, and then your Flask of the Titans, there's a big demand, larger demand for Grom's Blood, and the only place you can reliably get this is Dire Maul. And then the main thing is there's a ton of people in Dire Maul, a lot of botters in Dire Maul, printing raw gold with fly hacker hunters, and then you have mages farming the lashers, then also picking flowers, and so the Grom's Blood is very cheap on fresh. But here, high demand, low value of farming, and but there's a lot of farming going on with fresh. Let's look at some elementals, shall we? So elemental earth, 1.85, much more expensive than, you know, some of the flowers. But if we look at elemental fire, crazy expensive right now due to just, you know, the nature of molten core and such. I think in Blackland Layer this is going to be insanity, absolute insanity. But if we look at the water, it's not too bad, and I've got a bunch of this ready for Nax. Now if we look over here really quickly at elemental earth, it's pretty darn expensive. The reasoning is that less farmers, and so if we look at slash who Marudon, we got 1 person in Marudon, and then if we look at Marudon over here, Marudon 60 Mage, like there's just so many people, and they're getting a lot of elemental earth from there. And then if we keep looking at the other ones, elemental fire, 9 gold, 12 gold, then it does go expensive. And then we've got water, because it's used in Nax, and Nax is out here but not out in fresh. So again, it has to do with the crazy amount of farming going on fresh. Then we're going to look at some of the big rare consumes. So we got arcane crystal, 40 gold a pop, 45 gold a pop. If we go over here, there's not a ton of people farming this, and so it's not 10 times the price. It's not 450 gold, so it's, you know, still for white man this is like a reasonable price, because you could do a GDKP, come out with 2,000 gold in 1 hour raid. Like, this is a joke, right? You'd have to farm for hours to find some of these, so realistically it is fairly cheap. We'll look at the big one, blue sapphire, only 17 gold here, and if you're playing on Nightslayer, you know that like, so
I don't have a target.
This just illustrates how effed up the economy is. I filmed this earlier, and silly me, my microphone wasn't turned on, and so I'm refilming it. Earlier when I filmed this was 150 gold. Now they are 200 gold. It dumbfounds me. And then let's look at the big one, Black Lotus, 175 gold. I filmed this earlier. They were 165, and when I looked earlier, they were 150.
Ah, y'all are bad, man. Y'all are so bad. It's crazy.
Because, things might be like 10 times the price.
You're actually going on my list for being such a fucking loser piece of shit. All 3 of you.
97 gold. There's still a high demand. There's a lot of raiders clearing. I would say there's more people using Black Lotus on Era than there is on Fresh, because it's so expensive on Fresh. And let's face it, we don't need to use a flask for Molten Core. I sure as heck don't. And it's cheaper here. So what you have on Fresh here is an extremely effed up economy. There's so many botters. It's just insanity. So many gold buyers, and it's a vicious cycle because first of all, you have so many bots, fly hackers, etc. Running around grabbing this stuff. There are videos of fly hackers in Dire Maul. There are videos of just bots going around the world, teleporting around, picking Black Lotuses. You can go in the world and find them, but you have to fight against people eagle-eyeing, and the chance of you running along and finding the Lotus is so rare. Probably what they need to do is make it so like it was in Season of Mastery, where you pick a flower and it's got a chance of giving you a Lotus, because holy crap, man. There's just so... It's so difficult to get some items, and other items they're manageable. Like Molten Core takes me 1 hour for my guild to do. I do 1 mongoose, and I don't, unless I die, which probably not going to happen at this point with the progression. It's really not that big a deal for me to use a mongoose, which is like 4 gold.
Most impressive, I do
and
say.
Of course I have
you are a true master tiger hunter
so
adventurer.
I don't have to actually spend the gold, but it's really not that bad.
So upset if he
what do you
finds
think the
out
solution
he
is?
trusted me to proofread the manuscript
I think
of
we
his
need
novel, The
to
Green Hills of Stranglethorn.
potentially make
Everything
Black
was going
Lotuses
well,
a bit more
but a large gust
easy to
of
get,
wind blew through the
and
camp
that would be
scattered the
helpful.
pages everywhere.
It would make them
I was able to gather most of the pages.
It would make it so that
Many
you
are
can't
still
just have these
about the
eagle-eyeing
Collect the pages
bots
to
and
complete
fly
each of the
hackers
4 chapters.
setting
I
the
will
price
help
of the
you
Black
organize
Lotus.
Return the chapters to me once you have all 4. Chapter 1
I mean,
was
GDKP
quite
would allow
riveting.
people to
Master Nessingwary
participate
sets
in
the
raids,
backdrop for the
but
story and
then
makes
you
mention
have
of
to
his
pay to
hunting
win.
companions,
Right now, you just
including
got to
me.
roll the dice. It's
But
soft
that's
reserve or
besides
whatever
the
the case may
point.
be for
Let
your
me
loot
see which
system
pages
for
are still
Molten
missing.
Core.
It
And it's
seems
just
pages 1,
gold
4,
buying
6,
is
and
affecting
8
the
are still out there somewhere
consumables.
in the jungle.
And not the gear.
Chapter
And
2
it's
was
really
chock
made
full of
stuff so
exciting
expensive.
tales of panther
Anyways,
and tiger
what do you
hunting.
think?
I
It's
could just kick
crazy.
myself for letting the pages
I
go
will
away.
say one more thing. I'll finish with
It seems
this.
I was able to recover all of the pages,
People
with the exception of pages
always
10, 11, 14,
said
and
bad
16.
things about Whitemane. I don't want to plan.
Chapter 3 was my favourite. It tells of Sir Elgadine and Lady Ruak's first kill with a dwarven rifle. And the end of Chapter 3, why such a cliffhanger? Looks to me as though we still need pages 18, 20, 21, and 24 to finish the chapter. Those pages are out there somewhere. Ah, Chapter 4, the big finale. And what an ending it was. We are only missing 3 pages for this chapter. We need pages 25, 26, and 27 to put Chapter 4 back together.
Killing spree.
25, 26, 27? Who the fuck drops those? What is it called? Green Hills of Stranglethorn. $25, 26, 27. I wonder if wait a minute, hold on. Was I not supposed to do that? Wait, what? That doesn't even make any fucking sense. $25, 26, 26. You're never gonna kill me, you fucking dweeb. I really want to kill this fucking piece of shit. It's fucking almost pretty much botting this dual clienting fucking loser. Oh, fuck me.
What's beyond your mind?
Well done. You have served the war chief with honor. Your knowledge of the jungle is strong, adventurer. These specimens will be perfect. I will thank the spirits for sacrificing such fine beasts for the cause of the Horde.
The items you gathered from the feline beasts of the Vale are only the first requirement for a powerful enchanted item. These jungle trinkets, combined with my shamanistic ritual, will provide you with a very useful tool in assisting the Horde and the war chief. But now you must gather for me some jungle stalker feathers. The feathers are traditionally worn by the beasts on their armbands. You will find a tribe of the raptors directly south of Gromgol, not far from the Great Arena.
We need a fresh server. We need a fresh server. And I said time and time again, it's not going to take long for your fresh server to become the next white main. We saw it with Season of Discovery. We saw all the waters and all the
They're like
all
sausages,
that stuff,
adventurer.
all the fly
Look
hackers,
great, taste great.
And
I tell you, they're
no
filled
different,
with
man.
nothing but the finest
It's
ingredients
like
and
you have
meats,
this
and you
lush,
eat it and you
new,
love it.
new,
It's safer and more
untainted
enjoyable.
area
If you
that
just
you're
trust
living
me
in,
and don't
and
ask
all
too
the companies
carefully what's
move in
really
and they're just
inside.
like doing, you know, deep mining and sucking up all the water, and then you move to a new fresh oasis, and then they follow you. So it's always going to be this way unless Blizzard really does something. What do you think about it, and what's your solution? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, drop me a sub and a comment. Catch me live on my Twitch channel, Dwarf Lord TV, to connect with me or say hi to me in game on any of my characters. Dwarf Lord out.
And they say that the Dwarf Lord could save us. I'm not gonna pave Kieran.
I guarantee this bank's security with my own blood. Is that good enough for you?
On to the beard of the Dwarf Lord. Watch as we heroic leap away.
Hey all, the PvP system got released not too long ago, and you've been probably spending quite a bit of time in Alterac Valley grinding out the reputation, and at the same time getting a lot of honor and ranking up. And you might be wondering, is it worth it for me to rank up? Some classes it's a resounding yes. Other classes it's maybe, depending on, you know, your off spec or how much you really want to torture yourself in Alterac Valley. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over every single class, and we're going to consider the blue set and then the epic set, because right now we are capped at rank 11. And while you might be thinking, oh, I want these rank 14 weapons, we will not be able to get a higher rank until Blackwing Lair releases, and then we have to wait several weeks before the cap for the rank increases. Probably it'll get pushed to rank 14, but in Season of Discovery I believe it only got to rank 13, then you had to wait for 14. So we don't know exactly what they're doing. I don't think Blizzard really knows what they're doing. They released Alterac Valley with Chronoboons from Season of Discovery, and then they invited the Season of Discovery players into the Alterac Valleys as well. So I don't think they know what they're doing either. Regardless, let's talk about what is the best for you, and considering how much time it's going to take. Let's talk about the blue sets first. So for a warrior, there's two items in particular that are amazing and a third that's decent. Shoulders are amazing. They're practically the same as your tier 2.5 shoulders, except they don't have hit on them, and you don't need that much hit to begin with. The helmet plus the shoulders is a very common combination, although sometimes warriors will use Lionheart Helm plus the shoulders and the legs, because as you can see here, legs are pretty darn good too. They have 2% crit and 12 strength. Compare that to the Eldritch reinforced leg plates. They have 1 crit and 15 strength and 9 agility. So you're essentially, with the rank 9 legs, you would gain, or are they the rank 8 legs? Whatever. You're going to gain half a crit and lose 3 strength. It's a pretty good trade-off. So yeah, a lot of warriors will use the rank 8 legs and the shoulders plus Lionheart Helm for DPS. Eventually, you're going to get
in 24
the epic gear if you go that far. So definitely get the rank 10 gear as a warrior. You will not regret that. When you get rank 12, because if you get to rank 11, boom, rank 12, that's the next rank. These boots are close to chromatic boots. The gloves are very good, and the legs are amazing.
10, 11,
so
14,
rank 12
16.
gear for DPS is fantastic, and then you would still continue to use the blue helmet and shoulders plus your Savage Gladiator chain for DPS. Rogue gear, the blue stuff, honestly, the helmet and shoulder, it's an okay combo, but probably you're just going to be better off using your tier sets. It's not that good. And even worse is the epic stuff, because now you've lost attack power on the gear, and it's just agility, hit, and crit. If it had attack power, it would be good for PvE, but this set I find it really lacks a lot of attack power. Some people like to use a 2-piece for PvP, but other than that, for Rogue, it's just all about the weapons. For Hunter, the helmet and chest is a decent combination, the helmet and the chest. Everything else kind of sucks. But if you look at the full 8-piece tier 1, the increased multi-shot damage, it's a pretty strong set. So it's like either or. But what most hunters do want to get is the rank 12 gloves. Any other gear, it's pretty much irrelevant later on, but this is your end game bis right here, these Marshall's chain grips. For druids, it's pretty much like tank gear, melee gear, kitty cat gear, so unless you're going to be flag carrying or tanking, you really have no need for this. And it's just, do you want to go all the way for the rank 14 healing weapon, or the boomkin gear, the spell dagger? That's up to you. Again, this stuff is going to be used primarily for tanking. You're really not going to heal with this.
Yo, what's up guys? Today's video, I just want to talk about why I prefer playing Vanilla Paladin over Season of Discovery Paladin in PvP. And no, this video is not going to bash Season of Discovery. If you enjoy Season of Discovery and are having fun with it and prefer Season of Discovery, that's perfectly okay. I'm purely going to compare the two within their game environments and give my reasons to why I prefer Paladin in Vanilla WoW from a PvP perspective. So one of the main arguments I see people say as to why they love Paladin in Season of Discovery is that they get Crusader Strike, Divine Storm, as well as Exorcism as a damaging ability you can use on any target rather than just demons and undead. Sure, you can say Paladin has more damaging abilities, more buttons to press, making the class more interactive in combat, but you also have to look at the pacing of the game in PvP. It's extremely fast paced, with your time to kill being very slim, and I think that affects other aspects of the dynamic in PvP. I played Season of Discovery all the way up to the end of the Blackwing Lair patch. Phase 1 of SOD, you were missing some of your toolkit as a Paladin, but the fights felt more like vanilla WoW fights. The pacing of combat was still pretty good. As the game went on, the time to kill got quicker. Not only that, but the gearing in Season of Discovery was a lot different. They started to put less int on Paladin gear. Off-healing as a rep basically became non-existent over time in PvP. Don't get me wrong, you can still hit those buttons, but to a way lesser effect than in Vanilla WoW. Part of that has to do with the massive amount of hit points given to us in Season of Discovery and nothing to balance that. It basically made your Holy Lights use half your mana bar and hit someone for about 9% of their hit points, maybe. The support toolkit also feels less effective in SOD because people die so fast. It makes throwing a freedom on someone kind of pointless sometimes, or a bot, because there's always 5 shamans around to purge it off. But that's a different problem in SOD entirely, not necessarily a Paladin one. I'm not going to get into that. Gearing also feels kind of bad in Season of Discovery. The gearing in SOD is so perfectly itemized and meta that it makes some sets kind of obsolete. For example, the PvP set in SOD is almost complete hot dog water, and there's a handful of gear combos that are actually good. The best one being, from what I remember from when I played, 6-piece tier 1, 2-piece tier 2. And if you weren't running that, you were basically handicapping yourself. Also, my favorite spec just feels bad to play. Everyone knows I'm a Reckoning boy. Taking a fuck ton of damage to get 4 stacks just to unleash those stacks to do maybe 1200 damage because the 30% damage reduction just feels bad. Just play Deep Red in Season of Discovery. There's nothing else to play. I feel like over time Blizzard optimized the hybrid out of Paladin, and I feel like it kind of killed the game for me. I hope some of you guys can understand where I'm coming from with this. Part of why I like playing Paladin so much is that the class can do so many different things based on the situation you're in. You can go from healing a friendly target and bopping them to one-shotting an enemy in a matter of seconds. I feel like in Season of Discovery, that's not really a thing with DPS Paladin at all in PvP. I feel like with a vanilla Paladin, using your support toolkit is a lot more meaningful and useful than it is in Season of Discovery. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it just has a bigger impact. Like throwing sack on this guy and then like just off healing. I actually healed a lot in this fight because I kind of had to so the mage could just keep on pumping. Like they almost killed me right there and then I bubble. And then I think they're going to start focusing the mage a little more again. But I'm pretty much just healing while the mage is toasting them, you know? And like, yeah, you could say that a holy paladin could do the same thing, probably. But if I can potentially get stacks doing this, it's like big. And then I'm playing like with basically like DPS gear and stuff. So if I do get 4 stacks, they're getting 1 shot. But I can still throw support and help the team out in an effective manner, which is what like a support class does. Whereas in SOD, I feel like when I was playing SOD towards the end, like level 50, even level 60 more so, like you couldn't like, there was no time to like really do any of the support stuff. You were just pretty much just all DPS. And I like the dynamic of Paladin where you do use your support toolkit. And this is the perfect example of a Paladin doing that in vanilla WoW. So it's like, I don't know, I just prefer this version of WoW over Season of Discovery. Pretty much all I got. I just wanted to kind of talk about why I like vanilla Paladin more than Season of Discovery Paladin and kind of give my thoughts on that. If you enjoy Season of Discovery over vanilla, that's totally okay. I just
What's up YouTube, Mr. Limesty here, and today, what if I told you I could get you the right way in the Arcane Sanctuary, not 25% of the time, not 26, not 28, not 30, but 40% of the time, 2.28% of the time. But I could still overall get you there about 26, 27, 28% of the time. That'd be pretty good, right? Well, thanks to some beautiful math, summoner bias by Kiranor and Kirby, we have come up with something glorious. I say we, they have, but you know, I like to be included and pretend like I did something along with it. So, this is the seed correlation summoner bias infographic, and I'm going to go over really quickly how we can discuss this, define it, and everything. Essentially, what they did is they took a look at the map seeds and the tiles within Diablo 2. Remember, this game does a lot of procedural generation, and it takes tiles and then attaches them together. Not every tile gets used every time, but there was some thought around the idea that, hey, let's say there is a tile that's getting used, and if we see this tile, it will give us a little bit of a hint towards the summoner. Now, obviously, it did not lead us to 100% finding the correct way in the summoner or anything, even combinations and stuff. It just didn't work that way. But what we did get is some really cool information. The first and best one, and the one that I will just share with you the easiest, is an instant boost to your percent of finding, and it is the jail level 3 exit. So when you're in the jail level 3, simply look at which of these 4 exits you have. One, of course, goes, you know, just down to this bottom left, to the top left, to the top right, to the bottom right. You will have one of these 4 when you exit your jail level 3. I can go there right now. Honestly, it'd make more sense to go the inner cloister and then go back. And so we can see here is mine. So I have this top right. So I can look at this and say, perfect. With this jail level 3, top right is the direction that I want to go in the Arcane Sanctuary. And just like that, we've gained roughly 3.2% additional chance of getting the correct direction. It's as easy as that. Now, there are a lot more correlations that we have found. I say we again, Kiranor has found going through. For instance, jail level 3 mixed with your jail level 2 can add an additional 2 to 3%. So now we're looking at 30% by simply saying, okay, if I have this combination with this combination. Now, every time I go into jail level 3, I might have, you know, like let's say this top right exit, but I may not have this exit in my jail level 2. Thus, I won't get this additional little percent, but it's just something cool that you can note. Regardless still, I would always still want to just go to the top right anyways.
It's too far away.
So I'm still just heading to the top right, right? So you don't have to memorize all these additional pieces. All you need to actually memorize are these 4 pieces right here, and you will get at least a small boost. We can take a look at some other correlations here. There is the maggot direction mixed with your jail, getting you up to 31% chance in the direction that you know to go. There is the jail level 2 in maggot, which can give you some additional information right there. And this can not only be good for what's the first direction I should check, but what is the second direction I should check, right? Additionally, the Halls of the Dead is where they found a lot of tiles that were able to correlate pretty well. So jail plus Halls of the Dead getting us into the 29%. Again, note, this is my tile. I'm still just going to the top right. But if I have this tile present in my Halls of the Dead level 1, now it's an additional 1.5%. Very easy. So you can just see all of these with your Halls of the Dead and where you're getting these additional boosts, getting you into the 29%. But wait a second, Mr. Llama. You said there could be even greater. And there can be greater, there can also be a little less. For instance, if we have this jail tile right here and the Halls of the Dead tile like this in our Halls of the Dead level 1, we only have a 26.69% chance. So that does lower our chance ever so slightly But it's still greater than 25% chance. It's still greater than the 1 in 4, even if it's not 100%, you know, this crazy greatness. Every little bit, especially when you're speedrunning, adds up in percentages, and so that's really fantastic. But additionally, it tells us some information about what's the second best way to go, right? If we do miss on the strongest way. There's also plenty of correlations within the cave. Here you can see the cave gives a lot of these both sides. So the top left, top right, and bottom left, top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right are both in the 28%. So we don't go down into the cave in speedrunning, but it is very interesting to see the correlations of if you have this tile and this tile, then you get 28% for either one of these directions. If you have this tile and this tile, then it's like that, right?
I don't want to
Seeing
lose
all
my
of these
world
combinations
buffs,
here.
but
Again, I'll have this document in the description. You can go through it more yourself there.
Probably gonna lose my world buffs.
Where do we really start to get into these crazy big numbers is when we start getting down here. Now we're getting more in our pit. We're getting into 32% chances on 2 directions, which that's pretty crazy, the bias right there. So 17% chance for these versus 32% chance for these, based simply on having this tile or this tile in your pit. That's pretty interesting. Combinations here again in the 29 and 30%. And now, when we get a little bit deeper and we get into the Halls of the Dead, boom, we're hitting 38.7% chance knowing the correct first direction. Now, this is based on if you have a Halls of the Dead level 1 that is facing with this tile, so it needs to face to the bottom right and have this tile or this tile, and one of these 4 tiles at this top right section. So if you are able to catch one of these tiles with this, congratulations, you have a 38.7% chance now of knowing the correct way to go, which is pretty substantial. Like, that is really starting to get away from that 25%. That's really starting to push you into knowing which way you need to go. So that's extremely interesting. But we're not done yet, because if you take these same tiles and you go down to the Halls of the Dead level 3 and you find these exact same tile sets there, so it really seems like these tiles specifically have the most correlation of all. 40.711%, 40.719, 40.721, 40.718% chance of getting first way in the Arcane Sanctuary. And again, that is absolutely massive. Now, the tough part is only 2.283% of seeds will have a Halls of the Dead level 1 or 3 that will face to the bottom right and have one of these tiles. So, unfortunately, you're not going to run into this extremely often. But if you do, and it's 6 tiles to memorize, and honestly, it's just like bottom right and that, right? And they even correlate basically the exact same, right? 40.73, it's the exact same no matter what, so it doesn't even matter which tile. Just know, if it goes to the bottom right in the Halls of the Dead level 1 or 3, and you have one of these 4 dead-end tiles, you will have a 40% or a 38% chance. Where'd that one go? Wherever it is. Of knowing which direction to go. And that is massive. But take all of that away. Take all that away, which again, that's fascinating, just like extremely interesting to learn. There's a ton of more information in here. Here's all of this calculations and everything for how it was all done. It's extremely interesting. This is a lot of effort gone into solving this. So GG to Kirby and Kiranor and anybody else who helped out with this. But while we did not figure out the exact way of finding the perfect time through the Arcane Sanctuary, we did find this at the very least, which I would say this one piece right here is like the most important piece of it all, because it instantly just gives you a few more percent, and this is as easy as it gets for memorization. And literally, you don't even have to memorize. You can just think of the way that it points. Like, this tile is going down to the bottom left, thus you should check towards the bottom left. This tile is going towards the top left, thus you should check towards the top left. This one goes to the top right, you should check top right. This one's going down towards the bottom right. Right? So like whichever way that tile is you're heading down to go to that exit, that's the first direction you check for the summoner. If you want to memorize all the other stuff to gain slightly other percentages here and there, besides that hall's the dead stuff, that would be good. But this does it. This is it. This is the final analysis. I'm not sure we're going to find much better analysis than this. This runs through all 4,294,967,296 seeds that exist in the game. So it does a full breakdown of all of those, checks all the correlations across all of them. And yeah, unless we can get something crazy headed forward, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's it. I feel like that's it. But we can check. We have a top right. So if we go to the Arcane Sanctuary, we have a 3% chance extra, roughly. Didn't work for us this time. Didn't work for us this time, but hey, you know, that's all right. 3% ain't always going to get you there, but it gets you there a little bit more. And again, in speedrunning, in Diablo 2 running, if you're rushing people and you're doing everything, you will get it'll save just seconds, minutes, everything over time, and just be fantastic.
Gonna eat dinner really quick.
deal. And there's that North Command Center. I think Sharks will start to push as well, like at least into this area. You definitely want to zone out this area.
Strength and honor.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait till TBC, man. Can't wait. Chest, legs, hands, feet. Yeah, we need to try to sell that.
That spell isn't ready yet. I need to get closer.
Ownage. Double kill.
Pussies.
Oh, the humans claimed much of the Dustwallow Marsh for themselves, but the Stonemaul clan, with our help, has been able to push them back.
Hoof prints. It could have been the Quillboar, I suppose, or maybe even the Centaur. Their presence in the Barrens is not insignificant, and I would not think it a stretch to commit such an act. Did I tell you? It wasn't just that the inn was burned down. The owner's woman and pup were killed. Bad business, that. Nonetheless, I will send Kogoro to find where the tracks lead.
I know this human, Pavalrith. Pathetic even for his kind. He deserted his fellow soldiers and is now hiding out in the woods. I sent Ogron out to track him down. Some of the others suspect he's been stealing from our supplies. I think I saw Ogron heading off to the southeast.
I grant that humans have strange decorating tastes, but would they use a plain iron shield to adorn their fireplace? Perhaps this shield was placed there by the ones who burned the inn. A warning? A threat?
I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I can't cast that yet. It's too far away. That's still recharging.
What was his name? Pig what?
I can't cast that yet. I need to get closer. That spell isn't ready yet. It's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
No, no, no,
That
no, no,
spell
no.
isn't ready yet. I'm out of range. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. It's too far away. I need to get closer. That spell isn't ready yet.
Hey there. Safe travels.
Stinky.
Good day to... Ah, that's the spice. Now here's some swampy good stew.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still charging.
Actually shocked. There's no mages over here.
That spell isn't ready yet.
No fucking way, brother.
Charging.
It's so cringe, man. It really is. It's just, why do they have bodyguards? Like, how is that a thing? It's actually fucking mind-boggling. It's so weird. It's so weird. I've never had a bodyguard in this game. Like, are you that bored? Do you have nothing going on in your life, like, whatsoever? I don't get it. I just can't fathom it. I don't understand it. I do need to brush my teeth. I don't know my monster yet though, so. Well, dying sucks over here. Burning Crusades on here? Already? Oh. Do I want to make a druid? Come on, man. Bro, you're watching my stream? Dude, I don't get it, man. Are you his bodyguard? Like, what is that? That's a thing? You have 2 accounts? Ugh, that's disturbing. Whatever. Shit ain't sweet?
That spike isn't ready yet.
What? I don't understand what you're trying to say. I mean, that's really fucking sweaty and try hard, but okay. It's kind of cringe, but you do you, bro.
I need a target.
Some fucking serious grass touching needs to happen there.
I'm out of range.
I don't think I've ever paid for 2 WoW accounts just so I can do that. Well, that's annoying. And then you have that add-on to where you can talk to the other faction. It's like, bro, this is your life. 100%. That was crazy.
Recharging. I can't cast that yet.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna get ganked now. I have to do this. What? Kill me? I'm a free kill. I mean, I guess, but it's just like, that's the point, right? That's the risk you take playing on a PvP server. You don't find what you're doing a little fucking tryhardy? Like, that's some next level tryhardy shit. You can just type in my chat, by the way. So you don't have to come running over here and talk to me. Why does this not go off half the time? To each their own, I guess, man. I don't fucking know. I'll never understand that type of shit. It doesn't make sense to my brain. I'm not gonna spend an extra $15 a month so I can babysit one of my tunes so they can AoE farm. I don't like AoE farming anyways. I think it's boring as fuck. I like questing, running around the world PvP. But then you have players like you that fucking ruin it. Like, I can't world PvP. But then again, I understand that mage AoEing is a thing and they can't really world PvP, so it's, I don't know. It's whatever, dude. I'm not completely hating on you, but I do find it a little cringe what you're doing. But to each their own, I guess. Now, if you were allowed to dual client without having to fucking pay for it, then whatever. The fact you're paying double just to do that, like, I don't know. It's just fucking cringe. That's just my opinion. Whatever, man. It's cool. Do your thing. I won't go over there. I just need to get these fucking heads anyways. I don't understand this ranker add-on, though. This shit don't make no sense. I mean, it does, but, like, it's not showing a progress bar in here. I have to open up this to see where I'm at. So I don't know if it's bugged or what. So fucking annoying. Alright, I'm not gonna come over here, but I am coming back over here. Are you guys still over here? Or are you over here? Oh, you are? Alright, I'll leave this area. Here, there's a fucking mob here. I won't get it. I'll go over here. Oh shit, if my tank one drops, damn it. What? Dude, you should come over this spot. There's way more over here. Why don't you come over here? There's so many more. You're probably not listening anymore. It's fine. More for me, I guess.
Charging. It's too far away. That spell isn't ready yet.
I'm about to pull this whole fucking village right here. There we go. Only two?
That's can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
Really?
I can't cast that yet. Recharging.
Dude, no way, bro.
Cast that yet. I'm out of range.
No, 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 dude. Oh my god. I swear, half the time my fucking macros get me fucked. So fucking annoying, dude. Jesus, big damn. Just fucking slapping. Oh, my buff ran away because that piece of shit road killed me. Fucking douchebag, now that I think about it. Like, truly. Oh, what a fucking loser. I have to babysit my mage. Fucking no you don't, bro. You're a mage. It was broken class and fucking classic. No way that pulled all that, bro. Really?
I'm still recharging. It's too far away. I can't cast that yet.
Alright, surely. No? After 4 of them? No? Wow. This game's drop system is so fucking ass. Like, this game is good in so many ways, but it's so bad in so many ways, too.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Of course it misses. Oh, misses again.
Cast that yet.
Bro. I've killed every Murloc over here, and it just won't drop.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Oh, finally dropped.
I don't have a target.
They look like green spiders. Oh, I remember this fucking quest. Come here. Here you go. First that hits me. Perfect.
That spell isn't ready yet. Charging.
Oh, man. Wait, it says he's 30 and he's 31? What? What is this add-on? Zoom right. Jesus, man. Everything just crit there, literally.
It's too far away. That spell isn't ready yet.
Where does that make any fucking sense?
I'm out of range.
What is this? Did I get layered? I had to have. Dude, what?
That smoke isn't ready yet.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Charging. That spell isn't ready yet.
I'm out of
Charging.
I think I'm definitely gonna make a druid next. They seem to be the most fun in Battlegrounds, and apparently they're better than hunters in World PvP. Hey man, fucking up my fucking... Oh dude.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Oh, how did he get full health? What? Alright. The fuck? Bro, what? So many. Oh my god, there's no way.
I can't cast that yet.
So many. Oh no. Oh dude, that is so loud.
I can't loot that.
Someone be out here killing my shiz. I don't know if track hidden works. Huh. There's a spider. Oh my god, I got one. Crazy.
It's too far away. I can't cast that yet. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I need to get closer. It's too far away. That's too charging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. It's still recharging.
My goodness, bro.
That spell isn't ready yet. It's still recharging. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. That spell isn't ready yet. It's still recharging. I can't cast it yet.
Just
I can't
can't
attack that target.
lose.
I need to get closer.
Fell off the moped and got a bruise.
It's still recharging.
Don't have enough mana.
Ready yet. I need a target. can't loot that. I'm out of range. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I need to get closer. That skill isn't ready yet.
Dude, this quest sucks. I'm getting off. This quest sucks.